Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you're doing well. So, in this screenshot, there's a 14-year-old girl who narrowly escapes an attempted kidnapping in Glendale, Arizona. The video is quite disturbing, but I think it's very important to reiterate how there's a reason why Islam calls women to have male chaperones. Atheists and liberals often mock this aspect of Islam, right? Because they want a girl to be more vulnerable and alone. How so? It's atheists and liberals who are most against the Second Amendment and women even carrying a knife. Then, on top of that, they mock you having a male chaperone. And, on top of that, they are the number one group who has talked about defunding police, which means less police officers available and resources being poured into social workers instead of armed people to respond to emergencies. Further, they have a lot of soft on crime policies where the district attorneys, people are getting let out more easily back onto the streets. This has been captured in Portland. You could do a nice deep dive into this and see how the no cash bail reform, and these types of problems are arising in cities, especially New York, San Francisco, and many other places. And so we're seeing how liberals, especially liberal atheists and progressives and Democrats, really don't make the world safer for women, and they even want women to be afraid in their locker rooms and in the bathroom, so we're not allowed as women to be protected, right? They want to take away each factor and make you think that you're in a matriarchal utopia where men just, when they see a woman, they think you're some type of angel from heaven and they bow backwards, and, they complain about patriarchal chivalry where there's this knightly respect towards women, and they don't want to be infantilized or seen childlike or to be very innocent and pure, but they want to be aggressive, masculine, shoulder banging feminists, so ball crushers essentially. So they don't want you to treat them like a doll. They don't want you to have that sort of soft paternal energy with them. They want you to be more competitive and straightforward, blunt and concise, which is the opposite of what came before in the past, where there is more daintiness and romanesque type of mannerisms. And so I want to share more and more cases where women are alone, male predators attack. It would be much better if a mom was with her, if this person knows how to defend themselves, knows how to run. She did get away. But also a big brother being with her, a male in general, helps deter other males. That you should know. You can fantasize about a perfect world where a woman can, walk down any street in the world completely drunk out of her mind, hallucinating, and no man will ever harm her. You can imagine that world, but that's not what exists. Not even cats are safe. Insects are getting stepped on. Men get robbed all the time. Taxi drivers and Uber drivers getting robbed. People getting carjacked at gas stations. You don't live in that world. And so be weary of the ex-Muslims, and especially an ex-Muslim female who mocks you having a male chaperone, because she just hasn't suffered a violent crime in a liberal atheist city in order to realize that, hey, it's kind of dangerous. Having a male protector is a good thing. Why is it that Taylor Swift has bodyguards? Beyonce has bodyguards. Kim Kardashian has bodyguards, but the average Muslima can't have a male chaperone who's basically a bodyguard to protect her. Somehow that's oppressive. I want you to think of the predatory nature. A predator needs you to be an easy target. As a woman, if you don't have a firearm, you ain't even got a dagger, right? And you don't have a male chaperone, you're vulnerable. You don't got a nice Rottweiler by your side, you're vulnerable. Period. And then the more pretty you are, you're also vulnerable. And you know what? Honestly, to a predator, every woman is beautiful because they want to have their fantasy laid out. There's a lot of very deranged people. And so take this example of why moms should walk their daughters home from school, because you need exercise. So if you live close to the school, go on walks, make your community safe, have protection. If your dad wants to walk, it's good for us to walk in our communities and slow life down and be able to be observant in our communities to where if we see crime, there's witnesses there, to call police and whatnot. And when people are in cars, they're more focused on the road than their surroundings necessarily. So a crime can be occurring, but because they're focused on the road, they can't necessarily focus on what's happening over there, right? You don't want to have a car accident. So when people are walking, they're more people watching. And when you're people watching, you're able to scan your perimeter more, and this makes it harder for a pathetic criminal to conduct crime, right? So by all means, go on walks, but be safe, right? Text people where you are. Oh, I'm by the thing, Mom, I'm almost home. Keep in contact, right? But this guy wanted to take her, and it's fast. Kidnappings are quick. And if you're struggling and you don't have any type of lethal weapon, like imagine you got a dagger and you put it right in the eye. That's going to be pretty effective, to the gut, you name it. These are things that a woman needs, but a liberal government does not believe that a woman should have the right to a lethal tool to defend herself. They want the woman to be more vulnerable. So they mock you having a male chaperone. They mock you having any type of lethal self-defense tool. This is something you need to examine. Liberals have crime-ridden cities, soft on crime policies, and they want to defund your police. Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Cori Bush, Gavin Newsom. Now, he just deployed 500 cameras to be installed in Oakland to reduce crime, but he's not good on crime at all. Okay? In New York City, they deployed the National Guard to the subway because of rampant criminality. Alright? And no matter which city you look at that's a liberal run, you see criminals rule, police don't. And the leftists are very against the police. But also, sadly, some police are very corrupt and they don't follow the Constitution and they are jaded and burnt out and they need some better means of coping with the high amounts of stress they take so that they can have more patience when they do their job. But besides that, we do need police. I feel so happy when I see the police officers just driving in the communities. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. When you live in a place with a slow police response time, where there's lots of danger, like when I lived in Richmond, California, the police, you call them like, where are they? Then you're on your own. And you can understand why illegal weapons get bought. I think everyone should own a legal firearm, get educated, learn the rules, the laws, techniques about how you clean it, you name it. But you should be fortified, preserved, aware, level up, because criminals want to harm you. And in the past, it's almost like our ancestors. They were like, think about the people in the savannah. A mom is with her and her tribe, they're walking, and suddenly an elephant comes. The men, and the women have to be brave, get back. You have to be brave. A lion's roaring at you, or those hyenas are around you laughing. Get back. Like, you have to be brave. If you've ever seen the videos where someone's hiking and all of a sudden a mountain lion comes down and they have to like roar at it, like, get back, go on. Like, you have to dominate that predator. It's this very same with human predators. Now, some women, they do the like very scared, shy, like if they're walking to their car and a man comes and says, hey, you want me to walk you? You look really nice today. And he follows her and she's like, oh, hey, no thanks, hey. Like, she has to do the fake giggle and to be nice so that he doesn't attack her. But there are some women who will be like, get out of here. But they have like a firearm, and then that guy's like, whoa, and like he backs off, right? Which is more the technique that I do now that I'm older. I ain't got time for that. Get away from me. Get away from me. That's... A woman has a choice. The aggressive, get away from me. And then there's the morons who are like, oh yeah, stop it. Which actually brings them closer. If I'm walking and a grizzly bear's like drooling and I'm like, hi, how are you, pretty bear? You such a pretty bear. You think that grizzly's gonna be intimidated? Who's gonna charge? Who's gonna stand firm? It's something about that. There's something to that. If you just analyze the situation. And so, be safe, and tell your daughters also how to be safe. Do not take the, well, angels are gonna descend from the sky and protect me because I'm so special. Plenty of innocent children get harmed all the time. Plenty of women, as I've shared many times here in the American Hunter magazine, there's tons of stories where women protected themselves with firearms from evil men and evil women. And this is an important thing that women have to have. Now, if you're surrounded by LinkedIn CEO boss babes who think it's scary that you want to defend yourself, well, just realize they're begging to be a victim. Do you want to be a victim, or do you want to be a survivalist? Do you want to live in Disneyland in your brain, or realize you're living on the planet Pandora like an avatar, and there's threats constantly all around you? And so you need to be calm, composed, aware, have situational awareness, keep your head on a swivel, take a look around, not just always looking at your phone with headphones on and oblivious because there's someone eyeing you. Be aware, be smart, have good cardio in case you got a bolt, whatever you got to do to survive. Things are crazy out there, and you want to be prepared, not caught unaware. Alright? Doesn't mean you live your life on paranoid mode, but it means you're not naive. You're not gullible. Don't be gullible. So this was just another example of how women need male chaperones. My daughters have never been allowed to go anywhere by themselves. I was always sent out on my own. My mom didn't take me to school. Sometimes she'd pick me up, but I had to travel by myself. Even when I was in elementary school, I'd ride the bus, but I would walk home alone. Alhamdulillah, nothing happened to me, but there was times where creeps would be talking from their cars. Do you need a ride? Do you need a ride? And sure, if you want to be brainwashed and say, oh, they were all innocent, and they all wanted to give you a ride, and it's a great idea to get in the car with a stranger just because they're smiling at you. Sure, you can think that if you want. But I grew up watching horror movies, which helped me to realize, you know what? The everyday criminal wears many masks. And you better be aware. And getting in the car with anyone who you don't know is dangerous. Hence why so many women get violated by their Uber and Lyft drivers, which is very sad. And also, those taxi cab guys getting robbed. You're getting in the car in a closed, confined space with strangers. And so, be cautious. Be very cautious. A car allows someone to get away, to pull up quick and get away quick. So you have to be quick with your awareness. And know your community that you're traveling in. If there's a threat, where can I go? I've told my daughter, anyone tries to harm you, and you're over here or over there, go to the gas station, you tell the clerk, I need to call my mom. I've had her memorize our phone numbers, where her dad works, our address, you know, who do you go to for safety? You know, you go inside a restaurant, you know, you go into a business in order to get help. These are ways in which you train your kid to be smart, to have a security mindset from a young age, and to know stranger danger, to not be gullible, to not always assume the best in people, because a lot of people are criminals, and a criminal can smile, a devil can fake cry. If you just look at the interrogation videos of criminals, tons of them cry. They cry on cue, their snot's coming out, they're hyperventilating, but there's like literally a video of the crime, and they'll be like, I didn't do that, and then the detective's like, actually you did, and then they're like, okay, you know, you busted me. Remember, evil people can act, okay? And men and women are capable of great violence. And human trafficking is a real thing, regardless of how many leftist outlets minimize it and call it all a conspiracy theory for some particular reason. But remember, be safe when you travel, make du'as when you travel, because no one's guaranteed to return home. And every time you step out your door, thank Allah. And for me, I always make du'as to Allah to protect us. I thank Allah when I come home. Just that consistent gratitude of a safe journey also facilitates a security mindset. And sure, atheists, you know, ex-Muslims, you know, pie in the sky, everything's fine. You know, how dare these Muslims actually, you know, be spiritual when they travel. Sure, let them mock. But are these ex-Muslims and these feminist atheists, are they going to be there for you when you are traumatized because you escaped it? Some type of attack. Are they going to be there for you? No. So the person like me who's telling you to be aware actually cares more about your well-being than the feminist boss babe who tells you put your guard down. You know, go out and travel the world alone. Do you feel comfortable in a parking garage at night when you go to your car? Lots of women don't like that. They're like, oh, they're scared. They see a guy getting in. That extreme angst is not pleasant. So it's funny to me that a feminist and females, some of them, they will mock a woman wanting to go out with a male chaperone. That's what's wild. That's what's crazy. They know how awkward it can be to go to your car at night, especially those tall parking garages in the city or at hospitals when there's like that stacked parking garage. You gotta take the elevator to go up, you know, and you're in an elevator with a man. Think about it. He could literally just turn quickly and choke you out. And if there's no one else coming in the elevator to save you, they may not even save you if they see it. Think about that. So, a male chaperone protects you. And anyone who doesn't want you to be cautious, safe, aware, doesn't have your best interest at heart. And so, alhamdulillah for Islam. Don't discount the male chaperones. You know, switch up your patterns. Go out more with your husband. Only go out alone when absolutely necessary. Think about it. Lots of women are living testaments to being caught alone. Something to think about. Let me know. If you'd like to join my blog and support the channel, it's www.subscribestar.com/MilhanArchive. Have a great Ramadan.